Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ishi's Domain. With Dragon Ball Sparking Zero being less than 24 hours away, everyone's excitement is through the roof. The hype is real for this game, mine included on that. And with that, I kind of wanted to go over, some of the hopes and some of my hopes, some of my fears on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and kind of what my expectations for the games are. And so, you know, jumping straight into it, right? My hopes for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? I'm hoping that this game will have exciting what if battles. And I know the what if battles have already been announced. I know there's a custom mode where you can actually make, your custom what if battles and everything. But, it's all about that experience you get when you first playing the game, when you're doing a playthrough. What content does the game already have in it? And since I have no idea, I'm kind of hoping that we have some exciting what if battles. Um, Man, I mean, that's something I've just been excited for. Um, Shoot, maybe like what if Gohan was the last one standing against Jiren in the Tournament of Power or something like that. Or or they could adapt the what if Yantra story, the manga, um, the Yantra Gaiden or something like that. That would be pretty cool too. But that's one of my hopes. Some exciting what if battles and everything. The second hope that I have for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is the scenarios. So it kind of goes back to the what if stuff, but it's already been announced through the gameplay because in the gameplay of course you're going to have the Dragon Ball Z story, Raditz, Vegeta, Nappa, Frieza, all of them, but there's going to be alternate paths that you can take throughout that story as well. And I'm hoping that there are a lot of alternate paths, and I actually hope that some of the alternate paths that you take kind of affects the story later down the line. um, I know more than likely it's going to be you take an alternate path and it somehow reconnects back to the original story of Dragon Ball. But I think it'd be really cool if the alternate paths kind of affect the story as you play down the line. Um, but yeah, that's my second hope for Dragon Ball story. And my third hope for Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero is the DLC. So, um, as we know, in this game, there is a good bit of content as far as the what if stories and the different scenarios that you want to take, and different costumes that you can get for the characters and everything. With that being said, it has me excited about the DLC quality that can come with this game. Um, I know that the DLC characters that have already been announced are like the superhero characters, and we can kind of expect like the Daima characters as well in the future. But with the quality of this game already being, great as it is, I'm expecting these DLC characters, like these superhero DLC characters, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Beast Gohan, which is my favorite character, by the way. Well, Gohan in general, but Beast Gohan with the DLC and Orange Piccolo with the DLC. I'm expecting these characters to be like really high quality characters when they come out. Like great animations and everything, especially since the Dragon Ball superhero movie was already done in kind of this game like CGI, 2D animation type stuff. I'm expecting that to look really good on this game. And what I'm also expecting are the is the DLC or the costumes for this game, because there's a lot of alternate costumes that you just see throughout the Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, if we go back to the original Dragon Ball Budokai, you had Goku in the fit and Vegeta in the fit. I mean, they were looking pretty clean in there. I mean, it'd be pretty cool if we had those costumes too. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the DLC. I mean, of course, like I said earlier, you got the Diamond characters that will probably come. Um, probably some more GT characters because I have no idea why they didn't add Super Android 17 to the base roster of this game. That's been something I've been talking about a lot with a couple of different people. I'm like, why not Super Android 17? Or some of the other Shadow Dragons for that matter. But that's beside the point. I'm pretty sure they'll probably be added later on in the DLC. But I also want new what ifs with the DLC. And I know I keep going back to the what ifs with my hopes, but that's because, with all the Dragon Ball games, and I think the devs have kind of figured this out, growing up playing Dragon Ball, we played the same story over and over and over and over again. And we got tired of it. And that's why they started introducing games like Xenoverse and Fighters and the Breakers, where the story is kind of altered, right? And we kind of either have to fix it or it's a brand new story in general. And, that gets people excited. And with this DLC and these new characters coming in, more what if scenarios from the minds of the developers themselves, right? I think that would be really cool. I think that's something that to be excited for with the DLC. Of course, new stages and everything. I actually don't know the number of stages or the total number of stages that are in the game right now. But, everybody likes more stages as well. So that's something. Now, moving on to my fears. So I don't have too many fears for this game, but there are a couple that kind of just popped in my head, when I was thinking about it. And hopefully they get dispelled pretty quickly. My first one is the fighting mechanics or the combos in the game. Are these actually going to feel the same? Now, before anybody starts, raving or yelling at me or anything, I've seen the gameplay and I do know that the combos visually look different. You got Gogeta punching upside down and Ultra Instinct Goku doing some wacky looking stuff. But are the combos going to follow the same path or act the same way? The best example I can give of what I'm trying to explain is in Xenoverse, the male Earthlings. I believe this is before it got fixed or before it got patched or whatever. The male Earthlings all had an unadvanceable combo where they could kick you, charge up the elbow, and they hit you with the elbow. And once you get hit with the elbow, you get put in that slow-mo animation where you couldn't vanish or anything. And they could hit you with a stamina break. Hit your stamina break. And of course, they would have like different moves depending on, who you're playing, right? Because not everybody had the same moves in that game, obviously. But they had different moves to end the combo. And, that was it. But that was the go-to for every, male Earthling. That little string right there. And I'm hoping that Sparking Zero, while the attacks look visually different, I'm hoping that the optimal combo for every character is not the same. Like, I'm hoping that the optimal combo for Gohan, right, is not square, 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 triangle, square, 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 triangle, square, 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 low triangle, or something like that. And then Gogeta's, while it looks different, be the same string, right? I'm hoping that the optimal combos for characters will be, a different combination of buttons, a different variety, and of course also have a different visual look to them as well. My second fear is how many paths will there be in the story mode? Like, how many what if paths or different scenarios can you go into? Like, is it just Raditz in that whole Saiyan set chapter? Is there just one in the Frieza Saga? Is there just one in the Cell Saga? Is there just one in the Majin Buu Saga going all the way up to determine the power? Or are there multiple within the same saga that, you can choose to go down? And again, kind of what I said in my hopes, is it going to affect the story that you're playing? Right? So if I choose to, I don't know, what if Krillin doesn't die in the Frieza Saga, right? And Goku doesn't go Super Saiyan, is that going to affect, like, are they going to team up to fight Frieza now without Goku going Super Saiyan and they end up saving Planet Namek and everybody? Or is it going to somehow go back to Goku going Super Saiyan and Krillin eventually being dead or something like that? And it basically being like you branched off for a little bit, but then we're coming right back on track, right? And it's kind of what I said in my host, but that is one of my fears, that the choices that we make just end up, just going straight back, which it'll be fine, but I think it'd be better if it actually had like an actual effect on the story. My next fear on that was, how will the costumes be handled? Like, as far as DLC costumes, like, is this something like, are they going to introduce like a battle pass? Because it seems like every game's doing that now. A battle pass where you have to play so much, you get special exclusive costumes for this character or this character. Or are they just going to have you buy the costumes like straight out of DLC or separate from the regular DLC? Or are you going to have in-game currency where you can kind of buy the costumes? I would like that one the best. But the ones for the DLC and everything, I don't know. That's kind of scares me how they would do the costumes, because I think the costumes are a really cool idea. And I don't know if I'm thinking the costumes are a really good idea. They're thinking the costumes are a really good idea. And they're thinking they can make some really good money off that really good idea. But, yeah, that would be one. And one of my last fears for the game, and I actually think this is a really, relevant fear for the game, is it being, for lack of a better term, kind of gatekept by the manga. Or not the manga, but the anime, not being aired. And of course, we're going to have Dragon Ball Daima being aired. And so as Dragon Ball Daima airs and characters are revealed, I'm positive that we're going to get characters from Dragon Ball Daima. There's no doubt about that. But as we all know, in the Dragon Ball Super manga, there are some pretty cool characters that have been introduced, past Dragon Ball Super Broly. And how it usually works with anime games is, if the character is not in a form of animated media, or go like a anime itself or a OVA or a movie, then it doesn't usually get put into the games. I think the only exception that I know about this is True Shikai Ichigo from Bleach. If any of y'all know Bleach, True Shikai Ichigo from Bleach was added to Jump Force, but he hadn't been in any type of media, animated media, probably outside Bleach Brave Souls, which Bleach Brave Souls is a whole nother bad to begin with. But anyway, back to Dragon Ball. Since those characters haven't really been animated or haven't been any kind of form of media, I don't think they will be in the game. And that's kind of sad, because there are really cool characters with really cool abilities. And, we kind of have no idea where or when, the anime will come back. That being said, though, I guess going back to my hopes, thinking back on this same line, is that, characters like Kumba from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, or Cumber, my bad. Cumber from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, or Fu, however you say his name, or any of the special characters like Demigra from Xenoverse and everything. Those have the potential to be added to the game, and I think that would be pretty cool. I think they'd actually be pretty DLC worthy, especially in new scenarios and what if scenarios and everything. I think those would be great. But yeah, kind of getting back on track. Those are all my fears and my hopes. And lastly, I'd like to talk about my expectations for the game. And this won't be too long. I expect the game to do really well. I think the game will sell great. I think this game has the potential to be one of, if not the best Dragon Ball games ever made. And, as far as to the sale and the popularity of it, I mean, I recently went on vacation, really just got back. And all while I was on vacation, I had my Dragon Ball hat on with the Kame symbol on it. And, everywhere I went, when I went inside malls, when I went inside the stores, when I was just walking in the streets, everybody, I promise you, everybody stopped me. They were like, "Oh, is that a Dragon Ball hat? Oh, is that a Goku hat? Man, and you gonna get that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Man, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. I'm ready for it, man." People don't realize how Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was that game when we were all growing up, like, and it's coming back. I mean, the hype for it is real. Like, I heard that so many times, and I really wasn't expecting to hear all that because I wear my Dragon Ball hat everywhere. I mean, it's like my everyday wear hat, and I don't get all that. But with all the hype of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, being just around the corner, it shows that everybody is really, really, really excited for this game. So, for our expectations for the game, I think it's going to do great. I hope the DLC will do great. And, I think that we're in for a long ride with this game. And I can't wait to see all of y'all on the battlefield. But anyway, yeah, that was my little hopes and expectations and fears for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Can't wait for this game to come out. Again, less than 24 hours till this game comes out. I hope to see y'all all on. So, yeah. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I've enjoyed all y'all. Remember to like and subscribe. And I will see you later. Peace.